Hey everyone, it's Rob here again. So I've been driving for about 2 hours. It was about an hour along that dirt unsealed track. That went for about 45, maybe 50 kilometers. So it was quite a long drive into that last campsite. But sometimes some of those remote places can be the most beautiful. Anyway, I've driven more into a town now. We're at a place that used to be an old caravan park, and there was a sign out the front that just said free camping, overnight stays are suitable, no campfires unless it's in a fire pit. So I do have my fire pit with me. I'll just I'll make a judgment on that one later to see if I can actually start one in my own fire pit. I'll just have a look what other people do before I make that call. Anyway, let's hop out of the car and go have a look around the place. So we've got the river just over here. This is probably where I'm going to set up tonight. Got my table and chair to do my cooking. There we go. Just somewhere you can drive your car down if you really want to. Alright, it's flowing pretty quick, and it's probably pretty cold as well. It's not the warmest. But like the other places I've been to in summer, it would probably be fine to go for a dip in here. Just all that flood water coming down from New South Wales, Queensland at the moment, it's really flowed through into the rivers down in Victoria and then eventually the ocean. So at the moment, not great for swimming. Pretty popular spot. We've got bins provided all around the place. Tap water. So it was definitely an old caravan park. Got a bridge up here leading to town. So going by what I read on the reviews site, this used to be an old caravan park, and the locals have kind of just taken it over and do all the maintenance required, emptying bins, cutting grass, just making sure the place is all in check. And we've just got the toilet block here, so I might take my opportunity and have a quick shower and freshen up before I come back to you guys. Campfires allowed on campsites? No. Use assigned fire pit areas only. So it's probably not going to be a goer tonight. But like I said earlier, I have my own fire pit, so I'll just see what other people decide to do. So I just saw someone else who's camping here. They've set up their own fire pit, not on the ground. One similar that I actually have in my car. So I might get that going later. If others have got it, and I see there's a lot of evidence of random campfires just being started. Here's another one here. It's covered in leaves. So maybe it's just one of those things that's signed, but people just still do. Got a bushland walking track, which I'm not sure how far it is. Caution, walking track and bridge is subject to flooding. So with all the rain that's come down, those river crossings could be flooded, but that's just going to be one of those things I'd have to go down and have a look at. I'll probably get a chance to do that tomorrow. I like to do walking tracks from time to time, as long as they're not couple of hour long walking tracks. You know, 4-hour return walking tracks. I just feel like I had to do that one down at Lakes Entrance the other day. It's a pretty big tourist attraction, so usually I'm not a fan of doing those long ones, but I managed to get through. Anyway, let's head back to the car and I'll get all my gear so I can just get a bit refreshed. Alright, so I'm going to try and kill two birds with one stone here. I'm about to get set up, but I also have my little burner here, my kettle, my bigger kettle, and just some supplies to start shaving. Cold water in the toilets, preferably not do that. And it's a communal sink and mirror, so I'm not a fan of standing at the sink with other people coming in and going to the bathroom. So I'll just put don't need too much water for that. I'll just fill that up. I'll get my burner going. Yep, that's on, and there we have it. So while that's going, I'll just get my 3-man tent set up again. I'm really enjoying the space in the 3-man tent, so I'll continue using it. I'm not having many issues. Last night was a little bit chilly, so being right next to the river, just to our left, it could be another chilly night we have ahead of us. But got something to combat that if that's the case. Other people have their fire pits set up, the ones that they've brought from hardware stores or whatever store they've bought it from, so I'll probably go down the same path. But anyway, let's get this tent set up. I'm going to use my blow-up mattress tonight. Just been alternating day after day. Last night was my sleeping pad. Tonight I'll go for just the single blow-up mattress. Alright, so the only difference I'm going to do tonight compared to what I usually do, I'll usually have the entrance to the tent facing the car. You want to have your head up the higher end, so it looks like we've got the incline going down into the river, so I'm just going to have the entrance to my tent facing the river, so I've got my head up the high end. So that's pretty much all there is to it when you're camping next to a river or any kind of incline. Just make sure you're sleeping with your head up the high end. You don't want to be right next to the door or sleeping on a downward slope. You probably won't enjoy it too much. Anyway, I'll get this air mattress pumped up, everything thrown in there. You guys probably don't want to see that, you've already seen that 100 times. So let's get that done, and hopefully this is boiled by then. So I've got my water to boiling point. Now what I'm going to do is pour my boiling water straight into my bucket and just add a little bit of cold. All I want is some warm water. I don't want water that's going to absolutely melt my skin. So that'll do. Now when you're going away for a week, 10 days or whatever I've been on for, you probably have to do this. But if you're just going away for a night, a couple of nights or a long weekend, you should be fine. You shouldn't have to actually go to these lengths. But if you don't mind a beard or a mustache or whatever, any facial hair, you don't have to worry about any of that. But me on the other hand, never tried a beard, and I don't think it'd look too well on me. Alright, so feeling a lot fresher now. Had my shower, had my shave. Just behind those toilet blocks just here, we've got a little path or bridge leading up to that main bridge that covers the river. So we'll just take a walk into town. I was reading it only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. So pretty quick, easy stroll. Not very strenuous at all be the same level. So I'll just continue on along here. So it's a public holiday weekend. Today's Friday, so all the people from the city want to get away for the weekend. They'll be hitting the road tonight, or already on the road. But this place is, yeah, pushing past 5 hours from Melbourne, so I'm not expecting too many people from Melbourne to be heading down here. We've got the river just beneath us. It's flowing at a decent rate. Down there in the distance, must be a little dip in the water. It's causing some rapids, but it's a really nice view. This town's pretty quiet. I don't know the population of the town, but I can't expect it to be too many. So we'll just continue along. It's just really odd seeing a road with no cars coming along it. Usually, living in the city, every road at every hour of the day, there's just car after car after car. So it's really peaceful to see not many cars or trucks going by. Anyway, we'll continue on down to the town. It just looks like once you cross the bridge, you're pretty much hitting a service station, and I can even see the general store from here. Alright, well I've just hit the service station over here, and I see across the road there's a pub which I've done my research on. Supposedly it's worth stopping in for a feed. I plan on doing a bit of a lazy job tonight. I don't really feel like cooking, so you know, last night's sleep wasn't the best, but if I can get somebody else to do the cooking for me, I will. So it just looks like around town we've got a cafe, a couple of cafes, restaurants and grocers. as well as a motel. So there's not a lot in the town. It's pretty small, but let's go check out the pub and see how good their meals are. Alright, so I've just left the hotel, which is right behind me, after having a meal down there. Decided to have the chicken parmigiana. Now I can highly recommend these country towns. They do some really good food. They usually use local produce, local chicken, vegetables. The chips, they're not actually from a bag of frozen potato chips. They're actually cut by hand. And they actually do a very good job at making your dinner or lunch, whatever you get, top notch. So definitely highly recommend stopping by not only this town that I'm in right now, but pretty much any country pub. They'll give you top notch service. You know, I even got to say thank you to the chef. The bartender was, he was a really chatty, friendly fella. So that's what you get in these towns. It's not just your stock standard, what do you want? I'll bring it to table 10 and that's it. They'll actually bring it out to you, tell you when it's ready, you know, if you're having a game of pool or whatever you're doing. So it's a game of, you know, it's a pretty much just one of those things you get in those country towns. Just good service, good quality food, and just very friendly people. Okay, so this is my fire pit that I just bought from a local 4x4 adventure store. Now it's just made from iron. It's very thin. It's made of 4 pieces that you just kind of slot together. It's probably 30 by 40 to 45 centimeters width length. So when you actually pack it down, it's very thin, the box it comes in, and it takes, as long as you can slot it together correctly, it takes barely any time to do. So we'll just slot this together quickly. Alright, it's just a little bit of a challenge working out, especially in the dark, where to slot them in. But I've got it there. So that pretty much is our fire pit. And because it's nice and cold, I haven't got anything in it, no heat, I can just transfer it down to where we're actually going to start our fire. Now I'm just not going to start it too close to the tent, probably a couple of meters away, just to be safe. That's the last thing we need, our tent catching fire and having to get water and put it all out. So just stay safe, set your fire up a few meters from your tent, and you shouldn't have any issues. So let's get this started. Alright, so it's starting to kick on a little bit here now. Had the fire going for a few hours, just had a couple of drinks around the fire, and it's starting to get a little bit late. It's starting to cool down now, so thinking about heading to bed, just to be on the safe side, seeing as last night was so cold, and I can start to see the fog coming off my breath now. Just going to be on the safe side and just give us something that'll make us a little bit warm at night. So everyone would have had one of these as a kid. A hot water bottle. You know, if you've got a kettle, some water, and a gas stove, you're in luck, because one of these is something I should have had last night. But it'll keep you very warm at night and just out of those sticky situations if you can't sleep, because the last thing you want to do is get up during the night and have to do this. So I'll just get this done now so we won't have to worry about it. Alright, turn my gas stove on, light it up. I'll just move that out of the way. Just throw the kettle on top there. It's actually surprisingly stable for what it is, so it's actually a good buy buying one of those little 360-degree butane stove toppers. Just in the direction the video is going, I just plan on piecing these videos together. I'm not going to chop everything. I might just speed up the parts where I'm setting up the tent or taking down the tent, but you know, I'm not going to do all different camera angles, get out a drone, you know, just spend more time editing than what it takes to make the video. I just want to kind of have raw material for the video, and I hope you guys actually enjoy it, because you know, it's not too hard to do this. Just come out and take a few videos of what you're doing, and if it's something you enjoy doing, just even you could make videos yourself, even if you don't want to upload it to the internet. You know, put it on Facebook for your mates to watch, or just for personal use, because you can get some really good footage out there, you know. And when you just take some photos, it's not the same as a video. So I just thought I'd let you guys know that I just want to have that raw footage on there, upload it, not do too much editing. I'm not going to put music over the top or go all out. Just want it to be, this is me, and this is what you see. So I'll get this kettle boiled, fill up my hot water bottle, and then I'm going to hop into bed, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, good morning everyone. So last night was a pretty good sleep. Just this morning I woke up to my tent feeling like I was sitting in a boiling car. The sun had actually hit my tent, which I've set it up, packed everything up now, and it's actually in shade now, which I could have used, you know, an hour ago, but that's all right. It's all packed up now. I've just got my bag of trash here. So the campground, you know, the local community is pretty good. They've actually supplied bins all around the place, and a good amount of them. So I'm just going to take my trash, throw it out in the bin, and then I'm going to head into town. I want to check out one of these bakeries, you know, grab a coffee, grab some food. If it's anything like the local pub last night, it's going to be pretty great. It'll be spot on. So let's head into town now, and then we'll work out what we're going to do next. So I'm just crossing the river now into the town. Still flowing pretty fast. Hasn't slowed down too much at all. Yeah, there's thousands and thousands of megalitres coming down that river now, so I don't expect it to slow down for a while. Just coming into town, and while I was packing up, I just started chatting to a woman who was walking her dogs, and she said that she was one of the locals who just does maintenance around that reserve that I'm staying at. And I was emptying the fire pit out in front of her, so she didn't seem too concerned about that. But good thing I actually used my own fire pit and didn't do it directly on the ground. She could have had a go at me, or, you know, said something, which by all rights is fine. It does say around the area, no fire pits or no fires unless it's in a fire pit provided. But she was right there as I was emptying mine out, and she didn't say anything. So going by that, at this location, as long as you bring your own fire pit and do the right thing, extinguish it, do everything that you need to just to not cause any fires or damage to the area, you shouldn't have any issue. Alright, let's check this place out, see if I can get a big brekky. Alrighty, so I finished my breakfast, lunch, whatever you want to call it. It was actually not too bad, just your standard kind of brekky that you get at any cafe. But it wasn't bad, so I'm not going to knock the place I went to. There's another place in town that also does pies. It's more of a bakery, so if you're more into pies, check out the other place. We've got a lot of traffic coming into town now. Everyone's finally made their way up from Melbourne, or from wherever they're coming from, and the traffic's starting to flow through. They probably did a stopover last night, and now they're just spending the second day of their short little trip away, probably going to where I'm heading, further east in Victoria. So I just want to do that Rainforest Walk before I pack everything up, get the car ready to go. There's no signage of how long it is, but the woman who I spoke to earlier, who does the maintenance around the park, I asked her and she said about 2.5 kilometers. So it should only take me 30 minutes. So it'll be good to go down and have a look. She recommended it. There's little beaches and places you can swim along the track, so we'll go have a look and see if it's actually worthwhile. Okay, so just a little bit past that sign that says Bushland walking track, we come to another sign. Here we are with the kilometers, 2.25 kilometers, 40-minute loop walk. So it shouldn't take me too long to do this, probably less than 40, I'd say about 30 minutes. Once again, it just depends on how fit you are, how fast you walk. If you take your time, it's going to take longer, obviously. But the track, all in all, very flat. So far, I haven't come across any steps. There could be a river crossing further down, so we'll see how that goes once we get there. With the river running so fast, I'm not sure if depending how high up the river crossing is, if I'll be able to get across. But once we get there, we'll get across that hurdle. I'll just continue along the track, and when I get to a point of interest, like one of the little beaches, I'll stop and turn the camera back on. Alright, I've just been walking for a few minutes. The ground was quite muddy. Looks like it's had a lot of foot traffic, or there was even, looks like some machinery's been brought down here. Just a little piece of equipment to help with digging, or some kind of clearing equipment. Looks like works are about to start for a new bridge. Got some little concrete bollards. And unfortunately, just as I thought, there is a river crossing. And our warning sign, just collapsed bridge. Crossing is only able to be done in dry conditions. This bridge was burnt in the 2019-2020 bushfires. So future works are planned. So they're taking their time getting this done, seeing as it's 2022 now. But hopefully in the future they'll get that all set up and you can actually cross this. I'm not going to take the risk, but there are boards leading across to the other side of the track, but I'm not too keen to fall in the water and yeah, look all sad about myself when I get back to the car and campsite. So I'm just going to head back now. It was a nice little walk anyway for what it was. Just unfortunately, the bridge hasn't been repaired. So once they get their hands out of their pockets and they get that repaired, it sounds like the walk will be very nice. And even if I did get across today, it would have been too hard to maintain everything. It was probably going to be overgrown, a lot of weeds. So better to come back when all the works are complete, so you can actually see what it looks like in its true beauty. So I've been walking for about 10 minutes. The tracks, especially on this side, it's a lot easier than the other side. There is evidence of machinery coming through, but the ground isn't as churned up as much as the other side. So it really does have that rainforest kind of vibe going. Just heard a lot of birds. Some frogs, I can hear them down at the river. It's a really nice little walk, this one. And it's not as strenuous as the one I did at Lake's Entrance. So if you've got a spare 30, 40, 50 minutes, however long it takes you, definitely put it aside if you stop here and just go for a little walk through this rainforest. Alright, so I completed the loop up until the bridge, the collapsed bridge around here. I can see workers have left some waders here. Now the other side was pretty hard to cross because the planks weren't going out far enough. Now this could be a pretty embarrassing moment, but it's one of those moments, don't do what Rob does. So I'm going to try and take my luck and cross over these planks. Another one just meets there, and then if I can hop onto that main tree trunk, let's see how we go. Could be embarrassing, or we could make it. Alright. See. It's hard to tell how sturdy that plank is. Can I? It's sturdy enough. Now let's see if I can make the jump over there. Oh, it's like I'm doing the splits. Alright, I just gotta turn myself up. Ugh. So definitely don't try and do that. I don't recommend. I'm a little bit wet now, but Lucky I'm in a pair of shorts and I can just dry my shoes out again. Just gonna do a little bit of a recap on the town that I stayed in tonight. Pretty small town, quiet place. You know, it's along a main highway leading to other major towns, so you do get some cars coming through. I noticed a lot more today, seeing as it's a public holiday weekend. So wherever I head to next, we'll suss out how busy it is. I'm expecting there to be quite a few people, so we'll play that by ear. If you're going to stop here, definitely try out the local eateries, the pubs, the bakeries. Definitely a good spot to try, and the locals are more than welcoming. Just for a free you know, this used to be an old caravan park, just for a free site. They don't ask for donations. You know, you can stop over, have a shower, just do what you need to do, freshen up. I do recommend, if you're coming to Eastern Victoria, make this one of your stops on the way. You don't have to go off the beaten track to get here. You just turn off the freeway and we're pretty much here. So no four-wheel drive tracks or no troubles driving along dirt roads to get to this place. So the next stop, it's about an hour away. It's 26 degrees at the moment, and it's going to stay that according to my temperature app. So let's pack the car up, get everything in, get strapped down and make a move.